Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-September 2024. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business, as always, and start you off with an oracle card, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's happening for Scorpio gang. I hope you're all feeling fabulous and fantastic. Let's get it going, my guides. Talk to me. What do you got for us here? What do you got for Scorpio in mid-September? What energies, messages, insights can we take a look at? And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. At the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Scorpio in mid-September. We're getting very close to Scorpio season, my friends. One of the best times of year, if I do say so myself. Okay, beautiful. All right, so this card is always a double-edged sword, not necessarily in a rough way because it's laying low, but there's also something here about appearances and aesthetics and how someone presents themselves to the world. But there's also this like chameleon like blending in type of vibe that I pick up off this card every single time. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the September subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know, I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Let's talk more about this card. So visually and aesthetically, I think it's gorgeous. You see this lady, she's kind of dressed up and trying to blend in with these birds here. Not sure if they're storks or different types of geese. I mean, you tell me if you know what breed of bird those are or species. But when I see this, the fact that it's aesthetically pleasing to me gives me like that Queen of Wands vibe, where some Scorpios out there, maybe you're paying attention to your looks and how you present yourself. Maybe you're changing something about your look, whether it's wardrobe, your hair, like whatever it could be. There's like a close attention to detail about how I'm presenting myself when this card shows up. And again, it's just beautiful and confident. Now, for a portion of you, maybe your confidence is a little low. Maybe for some of you, you're going to have a big boost in your confidence. That's what this card means to me. But again, the fact that she's blending in here, some Scorpios, maybe you're just like, hey, taking a step back, blending in with the crowd for whatever reason, not ruffling any feathers, not causing any static. And for a portion of you, this could easily be a person you're connected to doing the same, like us. I don't want any trouble. I'm gonna pull back my energy here and just blend in. So we're just going to leave that as is. It could be one or the other, or even both. But yeah, let's get into tarot now. And I always say the first card here, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get it going here. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Shuffle it up one time here for Scorpio gang, my God. What do you got for us here in mid-September? And while we get this shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. Very peculiar, if I do say so myself. The reading was titled They Have a Plan, and there was strategy all over the place, okay? So whether it was like you like strategizing something or somebody else, to me, the big vibe I was getting was like, all right, well, there's a plan in place and somebody intends on going through with this plan. I mean, it was a lot. So let's see what shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else's. So let's get it going. 3 cards here for Scorpio gang. What do you got for us mid-September? What is happening? Quick, Chariot. Whoa. All right. I mean, starting full blast. That's the one thing I could say when this card shows up. Cancerian energy, but like, damn, this is like a very intense, powerful energy to start off with. Let's get a couple more. What we got? Thank you. 6 of Cups. Okay. So there's some sort of connection to the past now. Very peculiar, my friends. Very interesting. Let's get one more. Thank you. Okay. 8 of Pentacles. Working hard on something. So this spread, Scorpio, is making me feel a lot of feelings. That's one thing I will say. Like, even though none of these cards are like super challenging or anything like that, there's just something about how they're lined up and the way the energy's hitting. It's just making me feel a lot of things. And listen, I know us Scorpios were very much known for having intensity of emotion, even if we don't show it on the outside. But there's just something about how the energy's already hitting me where it just feels like super intense and I'm feeling big feelings. So let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get into that juicy intuitive stuff. But at first glance, there's a lot of water here. Now, we are very comfortable in that element as a water sign. We got the Chariot, the 6 of Cups. That's our wheelhouse right there. This is something that, whether we're still reconciling something from the past or just thinking back on things, listen, we're very much known for having very good memories, right? Scorpio never forgets. And that's kind of like what this is making me feel. We also have earth. Now, I always say when we mix earth and water, that's usually bountiful. That usually represents abundance and potential. So this could be good. This could be good. Let's go through piece by piece and really start building it out, though. So position number one, we are starting with the chariot. And the real thing that's catching my mind is like the chariot, six of cups combo. To me, it's like something like cycling back around, possibly. I don't want to get too intuitive just yet. But when we have the chariot, you might be connected to Cancer. That doesn't have to always be the case. Now, this card could link to a whole bunch of different things. It could be action, going to something, going away from something. It's like moving quick, boom, 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 boom. So whether you're heading towards something, this could be traveling, this could be distance, vacationing, you name it. This could represent your mode of transportation. So some of you might be dealing with car things when this energy shows up. But to me, I think of determined forward movement and action. And it is one of the fastest moving cards. So when I see it, I feel like something's either coming in or going out real quick when this is here. Now, the challenge of this, especially if you're not connected to Cancer, this can be a very aggressive energy. Okay, it could be very heavy-handed. Remember, chariots were originally meant as instruments of war, of battle. So there might be certain situations where you might be dealing with it with a heavy hand, even if you don't realize you are. That's what this card could represent. And it could just be conflict straight up. So we're going to want to see what way this energy is headed when we clarify it, that's for sure. Now, moving to the center, this card is all about the past. Now, it could mean other things as well, but we have the Six of Cups in the center. Very soft type of energy, not half as intense as this chariot. But when the Six of Cups shows up, I think of history, I think of memories normally. Now, of course, this represents soul bonds, soul ties, people that we have a lot of history with, very important individuals like we've known for years and years and years. I often say when this card shows up, we might be reminiscing quite a bit. We might be taking walks down memory lane, or there could be something from the past cycling, especially next to this chariot. So that's something we're going to want to keep an eye on as we move through and clarify it. Usually this is a very good, smooth type of energy. When this shows up in reverse, this could represent somebody that has a lot of baggage, that's been through a lot of tough times, and they're still working through that. They're still reconciling that within themselves. Okay, so just know, like in this time, whether it's good memories or rough ones, these things could be coming to the surface and affecting you in a different way. So we're going to have to look at this and see what's up if we're not just looking at a person. There is some sort of connection to the past here. Okay. Now, moving to the back end, we get a totally different energy, whereas I feel like the chariot and the Six of Cups are connected. The back end, we have the Eight of Pentacles, all about work. This is a card that's about career. It's very diligent. The material world. So we're talking about how we earn money, what we do for money, or money itself. We're just thinking about the material world. It's not as fluid as all this water energy that we were picking up. When I see this card, I think of someone that's determined. They're a hard worker. They're going to make it happen. So whether you're prioritizing your career, whether you're in pinnacle mode right now, there's a lot of effort going into something, or at least wanting to put effort. That's what I always say with this card. If we're not talking career, it's somebody that wants to work on something and put effort into it. Okay, that's why this is one of my favorite cards, right? No surprise. I think a lot of Scorpios love the Eight of Pentacles. Now, when we get to the challenging aspect of the Eight of Pentacles, sometimes it could be somebody that's working too hard on something. They're doing a little too much. This could be somebody that's a workaholic showing up here on the back end where it's just like one track mind, I'm never going to stop type of vibe. Listen, no judgment here. Totally get it. But if we're not talking about material things and career and stuff like that, sometimes the Eight of Pentacles could represent like trying to fix something that can't be fixed, which is peculiar because I'm just getting so many heavy emotions from this. So I want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. What do we have for Scorpio again, please? God, Spirit Team, what's going on? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, pardon me, I got a little frog in my throat. Every reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. What's going on that chariot? And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any energies that you want to give to Scorpio, you could drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, chariot time. What's this energy? Thank you. Eight of Pentacles. 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of energy, or something that might feel like it's taken forever. Another thing that I do like about this energy, to me, it feels more of like a breakthrough for a good chunk of Scorpios. There could be something that you've been waiting on for quite a while. When we have this Knight of Pentacles and then the Chariot on top, like, to me, it's like, all right, well, you waited for this, you wanted this. Like, did you want this? Is this what you really wanted? Because like you kind of manifested something here, even if you realized it or not. The Knight of Pentacles is another action card, but the difference is it's the slowest out of all the knights. It's slowest out of most of the cards, right? It's like moving like molasses. So when I see it showing the Chariot, maybe this is something that you are still processing. Maybe it's a situation you've been dealing with for a long time. That's very possible here. But to me, the intuitive message I got is either there's something that's very hot, cold, where it's like 2 steps over, 1 step back, or it's like, okay, well, you waited for it. You wanted it. Here it is. Like, are you going to take it now? Or it's just giving me that kind of energy. So just know if there's something you've been manifesting or trying to bring in, the energy is going to present itself. That's just how it's showing up to me. So let's keep moving again. When we go from energies that are like so slow to so fast, it's almost shocking. It's very jarring. So let's see what the Six of Cups has. Let's see what that Six of Cups has to say. For a portion of you, maybe there is something you need to slow down. I mean, I don't want to muddy up the message, but let's see what the Six of Cups has. Where's that Six of Cups here? Thank you. Yeah, there it is. So the Eight of Cups in reverse underneath the Six of Cups, there's absolutely the energy of something cycling back around, or at least wanting to. Okay, now these could be separate things, of course, but notice again, elementally, we have all water, all earth. These are complementary energies. So this does tell me there is something that has a lot of potential to actually manifest and happen here. Now, the Eight of Cups in the upright, I usually say it's either going to or from something very similar to the Chariot. So we do have this energy that's moving about all over the place. Some people just say like, yeah, this is walking away from something when it's in the upright, and that could be true. But when I see it in reverse underneath a card of history, to me, this tells me a couple things. Like something could come through, whether it's a situation that you've dealt with before, you might have to relive it or rework through it. This could even be an individual or a person. I've been seeing this for some other zodiac signs in recent weeks. It's like it's been cycling through the zodiac, and I guess now it's our turn. But yeah, when I see the Eight of Cups in reverse under the Six of Cups, I think a lot of readers would agree. You don't have to get too intuitive about this. Like, this is something reemerging or returning in a big way. Okay, so it could be a surprising return of some sort, especially like when we're going from the Chariot and this. Like, to me, it just feels sudden. It feels very sudden and surprising. So let's keep moving forward. Okay, again, so whether it is a situation or you're returning somewhere, or it could go any which way. So let's see what's up with the Eight of Pentacles. Now we're getting repeating numbers. Okay, we got the double eights here, which again are the infinity symbol. What do the eights do? They always cycle back, cycle back. Let's see what's up with the Pentacles. What's the Eight of Pentacles here, please? Thank you. Okay, we have the Devil in the upright underneath this Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so there could be a goal or an outcome that you are absolutely 110% tied to, where it's like, I will not be swayed. I will not give up on this. This is what it's going to be. There is no changing my mind. Like, this is how it is. I feel for a lot of Scorpios, there could be certain things that you feel are set in stone. Okay, whether they're outcomes, you name it. Now, the Devil, not always bad. Okay, for some of you, now might be a great time to do some work on oneself. Because remember, the Eight of Pentacles is a card of putting effort into something. The Devil is unsavory energy, especially things that we may have been dealing with for a long time. So for a lot of Scorpios, now could be a great time for self-improvement, working on yourself, whether that's physically, mentally, emotionally. Now could be a great time for really improve yourself in various different ways. It feels good for that. But aside from that, the intuitive message was like, listen, that there is something, or there's an outcome, or there's an attachment where like it is what it is. Like, it's set in stone. There is no changing my mind. That's just how this feels to me. Like, I put too much into something to just let it go. or like that something was too impactful to just let it go. It's given me such a bizarre type of feeling. It's super intense. Now, for a portion of you, the devil, it could also represent a Capricorn you're connected to. The devil represents the material world as well. It's not always just toxic and obsessive and all this other stuff. It could just represent the material world and money. And it's grounded, very much like the Hierophant. So when I see it underneath the Eight of Pentacles, it's like, no, my mind is made up. This is my path. This is what I'm doing. So for a lot of you, there might be a decision or a choice or a path that you've chosen for yourself, and it's like, yeah, my mind is made up. That's what it is. But there's good self-improvement to be had as well. Listen, I know Scorpio is a fixed sign. I know that when we are set in our ways, we could hang on to it. We could really cling to what we want for sure. But sometimes it's good to be a little bit malleable, right? Like sometimes you might need to reevaluate things. Listen, I'm not going to try to convince you. Let's go through and do a quick recap here, Scorpio. Lots of stuff happening this week as per usual, right? But if you kindly look in the box before we get into the shadow card, position number 1, we have the Chariot with the Knight of Pentacles. It did give me 2 steps forward, 1 step back type of energy, but I also, the big intuitive message was like, oh, well, you've been waiting for this. This is what you've wanted. Now here you go. Like there's something you may have manifested, even if you didn't realize you've done it, or something that you've been waiting on could come in. Onto the middle, we have the Six of Cups, pardon me, with the Eight of Cups in reverse. There's absolutely either a situation, someone that's going to return in a surprising fashion. I do feel like it's something that you already are tied to or something you've already experienced. So it's like, okay, well, let's run that back. Let's try that again or experience it again. However, onto the back end, we have the Eight of Pentacles with the Devil in the upright. I went on a whole spiel about that. I said, like, hey, this is someone whose mind is set. Like, this is what it's going to be. This is the outcome I want. There's no changing my mind. There might be a goal you have in mind where it's like there will be no swaying you from that. Like, to me, it's very much someone set in their way. But another vibe I got here as well is now is a great time to really do some self-improvement. Okay, you could really make big gains here. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows here. So let's shuffle it up one time. What do you got for Scorpio, gang? Okay, so what do you got for us here? What is in the shadows? And yeah, I always like to pull one shadow card at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge. They could be a good thing. So let's get you one. What is happening? Oh, and yes, if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. Put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. Okay, let's get that card out. What is happening? Thank you. 4 of Wands, that's good. I mean, that's a really good positive result here in the shadows, that's for sure. So we do have the 4 of Wands, and it is kind of a little reminiscent to me about this 8 of Pentacles, Devil on the back end, because this is a pretty sturdy, like set in stone type of energy. So although we have a lot of movement, we have changeable energy here on the front, there is still this sense or this energy around you where it's like, well, no, well, this might change, that might change, but the fact remains. Like there is something that is unchangeable when we have this 4 of Wands. This is a card of celebration too. So for a lot of you, when the 4 of Wands shows up in the shadows, sure, it's the 1111 card. It could represent signs, synchronicities, omens from spirit. So keep your eyes open for a spirit trying to guide you. But to me, it's very celebratory. So again, for a big portion of you, there could be some sort of celebratory energy coming towards you. And I wouldn't be shocked in the coming weeks if this energy starts becoming more apparent, that we start seeing these wins, these victories show up in the main part of the spread. So this is good. And for another portion of you with the 4 of Wands, it could represent living situations, property, stuff along those lines. But to me, it's just very celebratory and stable. So yeah, Scorpio, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the September subscriber surprise. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can check out my digital calendar at my website, mastermetaphysics.com. But for the September subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 2 copies of one of my favorite decks of all time, the beautiful Wizard's Tarot. It's gorgeous and it works great. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, my friends, first, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments, where would you like to go for your dream vacation? What are you manifesting? Let me know. Let's bring it to fruition. You'll be entered to win, and at the end of the month, the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you again.